I was sentenced to 12 or 13 years in prison, MCI Framingham. My charges was manslaughter, assault and battery with a deadly weapon, and attempted murder. It happened so fast.
Yeah, I imagine.
It happened so fast that I didn't know what was going on. All I know, and I never told this to nobody, all I know is that I was scared. I was scared for my life. I was so scared. Like, and I just want everybody to just stop. And nobody stopped until it happened, You know who got me through it? It was God and Ramik.
Who was Ramik?
Meek Mill. Shocked. Don't know what's going on, what's happening. I'm scared right now. So I'm in this van. It's dark. I gets in there. They tells me to line up. I line up. Now they tell me to go in the cell. I go in the cell. So I'm sitting with like 5, 6 females. They looking at me. I'm trying to look straight ahead because I don't know. It's my first time. I'm scared as shit. I think they gonna shake me or something.
Right.
It was crazy. All this stuff was going through my mind, but it's reality. Now I'm here, and shit like this happens.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm your host, B. Luke. I got a very special guest with me today. So why don't you tell the people your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
Hi, how you doing today? My name is Takisa. Everyone calls me TK. I'm from Boston, but I was raised down south, Alabama. But so I got part country and part north in me, so I'm from both sides. Yes.
Awesome. So why don't you tell the people a little bit about, briefly run through maybe how long you were in prison, how long you've been out. You don't got to elaborate too much, maybe what the allegations or what the charges were, and then we go from there.
All right. So I was sentenced to 12 or 13 years in prison. I went to MCI Framingham, but for me doing good time and programs and doing jobs, I got good time and I came home in 10 years. My charges was manslaughter, assault and battery with a deadly weapon, and attempted murder.
Sorry. So how long have you been out, and what have you been up to since you've been out?
Okay, so I've been out since February 29th of 2024. Only been home for 2 years. I got out on leap year, which everybody knows only come every 4 years. So I guess I was one of the chosen ones. Thank you, Jesus. And so since I've been home, I have got my GED, which is my high set diploma. I also went to Empire Breeder School. I'm graduated. I'm working on towards getting my hair license, my cosmetology license. And I also attended bartending school, which I got a certification for.
Awesome.
And this far, I'm intending on going to a community college, doing radiology technician.
Okay.
So I want to travel the world, taking care of people. I just don't want to be in one city at a time because I think every city and every person is some type of Takisa in their life.
Absolutely. I feel like I'm a nomad at heart, even though I've only been to a couple places. So talk about why when you got out, educating yourself and getting these certificates was important for you.
Well, I thought it was very important for me because where I came from, it was already programmed in our head to either you go to church, you go to school, or you have a job. Since I was raised up, since I was born, that's all we knew how to do, you know what I mean? And I feel like education is very important to me because it could take you somewhere.
Absolutely.
Look at me so far. Look what I've done with education. Without my GED and my high set diploma, I would still be stuck.
So
be stuck.
What are some things you're looking forward to now with your freedom moving forward?
Wow. So right now, I want to work on my book. I want to work on my book. That's very important to me because I feel like I need to tell my story.
Okay.
And my story is very deep. It's very deep, and I know it's a lot of females and the males also can understand my story, telling it from different parts. Because not only I'm a female, but I also was raised up with a lot of guys, and I got a lot of guy friends. So I can tell you a little bit by being around them in my book.
Okay.
So so I want to come out with my book first thing first. I want to do a little bit of modeling, and I want to do like little fashion. I want to like dress like the celebrities, and you know my friends are the celebrities. You know,
Absolutely.
like Cardi B and Meek and Mill, hey Meek, and so on and so on. But I got a thing for fashion, so that's my next step. That's what I want to do.
So, so the book is a biography, autobiography, however you want to say it. So, do you have a name for it, or what's the like? Where are you at with that? And did you start writing it yet, or are you gonna hire somebody to, like I think, write for you? You know what I mean, something like that, or is it something that you sit down and you've been writing while you was away? I guess talk a little bit about, you know, if you have a name for it, and like what's the process that you've started, or where you're going with it.
I wanted to name it Straight Up No Chaser, F81582. It's going to be my book. And when I mean by straight up, I'm telling everything. Everything from when I seen when I was 4 on up to adulthood. And then with No Chaser, I'm not leaving out nothing. Even my own personal business, even my dark secrets, I'm coming out the closet as well. So that's what I mean as no chaser. And then the F815 is my inmate ID number. It's how I got there, straight up. I ain't chasing nothing. It's gonna be what it is.
That's fire. And the straight up no chaser too. That's that bartending background too. So that's pretty dope.
Yes.
That's amazing. So why did you want to put a book out there? Is that something that you wanted to help somebody with? And like why did you want to help people, right? Because I feel like a lot of people come home, they figure it out, they might just hide and just say, F it, like, I want to stay out of trouble, lay low, not be like a public figure. Why was that important for you to like give back, I guess, through the means of your book?
I feel like everything that always been through in my life, it was deep. So deep that, you know, and the black community, like if you live in a black household, it was always, what goes in this house stays in this house. So everything in the black house home, well, my house home, whatever went on, it was always swept beneath the rug. So it was like I carried that on through child, through adult, and so on, so on. So now I feel like somebody out there, and a lot of people out there can relate to my story. And what I got to say in my story, a lot of people like is in denial of like their kid's situation of a man and stuff. So I feel like if I come out there and say, you know what, I did that. I chose a man over my kids at one point. You know what I mean? And at one time, I couldn't do that. I was in denial for years and years and years. But now I can sit here and say, I did that, and I fucked up. Wow. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I messed up. And if I come out there with my book and say that, I think somebody else, and it's a big weight off your shoulder just to say, you know what, I did this, it was wrong, it was that. Show your true colors, be real to yourself, because how you going to be real to somebody else, you know what I mean?
I absolutely understand that. Instead of, I feel like it's probably much more of a weight off the shoulders than living with like a secret or something that nobody knows, you know what I mean? So
yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
So let's talk about that childhood, right? You said this was how things were in the household. What did the household look like, right? Did you have both parents in the house, any siblings? I guess get in a little bit into what the household looked like for you growing up.
Okay, well, my mother had 5 kids, and my father only had me, and my brother came along later on in years. But with that being said, my mother and my father was both addicts. I was basically raised up on my mother's side of the family. I didn't really get to my father's side till I got later on up in teenager years, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and it was always like I said before, we go to the house, stay in this house, go to church, whatever you do, it was a whole lot. Yeah. And then being with a mother of an addict, she wasn't really there for us like that. It was like we got passed around to family to family to family, you know what I mean? Absolutely. And it was hard. Yeah. It was hard, because it was like, I seen some stuff in my life, you know? But my mother getting abused, domestic violence, and it was just really bad, you know. And I just want to like change for the better, and somebody else can change too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it just is what it is. It was just a whole idea. My father was always like in and out of prison, you know, and he was a, you know, the big what they call a plug at one time. You know, he knew the game, he knew the ropes and stuff, but then he still fade back into the addict type of position, you know?
Absolutely.
But my father was my everything.
Yeah. Daddy's girl.
Oh my God, I'm a daddy's girl. Daddy's girl. And that's how it was in my household. Like, we didn't really we was out there, you know?
Yeah.
And my aunt who took us in, Auntie Iris, who raised us until she passed away. But she was giving us life lessons when we was young. And I didn't understand none of this none of this shit. I'm looking like, what the hell she mean by the root at the end of the tree, and when I leave, y'all gonna be fed to the wolves, and what does that mean?
Right.
And later on in life, now I understand what she was talking about.
Yeah.
But everything she was teaching me, it was true.
Yeah, and I think that's dope too, and I think people need more of that. Even though like the kids may not understand now, they might get older, and then it just clicks, and it's like, and then they can live by that thing too. And the dad in prison, mom addict, super relatable. You know what I mean? My mom, you know, she's an addict. You know what I mean? She wasn't always an addict, obviously, but a little later in my childhood, she became one. So I seen some things too, and it was like, at what point? Because kids are so young, like you say, you weren't understanding stuff. So, like, at what point did you understand that mom's an addict and, like, this isn't maybe the normal thing, or maybe it was normal where you know what I mean, where you're from?
Right. So, when I realized my mother was on drugs really bad, I was with my granny one night in Alabama, and my mother lives in Florida. And I've been hearing all this type of stuff that she was on, but I never seen it. Never seen it. Until that night, around like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, she came. And the way she was and the way my mother, that wasn't my mom. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with you? And I just stood there and I just couldn't move. I would just start crying because I couldn't believe that was my mom.
Wow.
Like, I heard a lot of stuff, but I've never really seen it. I've seen stuff when I was little, but I'm little, so I really don't know, you know, until that night.
Yeah.
And that was like around I had to probably be like around like 20, 21.
Okay,
I want to
so you
say.
were older.
So I was older.
Okay.
You know, but no, I'm sorry, not 21. I was talking about like 17 because I had my first child when I was 16.
Okay.
So I'm talking about like 17, 18 is when I really seen my mom.
Wow.
I seen the effect of when she was on drugs.
Wow.
You know.
So do you think it was like her trying to hide it from you, like in front of you, or is it the fact that maybe, like you said, you were passed around, so it wasn't that opportunity to see it? A little bit of both, I guess.
I don't think she was trying to more like hide it. I think my brothers, black and blue, I think they was trying to more hide it because they were trying not to get her to come inside the house. They were trying to stop her. I'm like, no, let her come in. But they already knew because they was already living with her in Florida. So when I finally found out, I don't think she was trying to hide it. I think she was just like, that's who she was, you know?
Wow.
And I just think like she didn't have like that love in her life either. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't think my mother never had somebody to say like, you know, I love you.
Right.
Give me a hug or anything like that because of what she been through. You know what I mean? So I just think she's been through her own stuff in her life, what got her to that point.
Okay.
I don't know, you know. I just know from what I'm seeing, you know.
Absolutely.
From what I've been through and stuff like that, you know.
For sure. So talk about, like, I guess your younger years, right? Was that more out here in Boston or down south, or how often were you going back and forth between the north and the south, and you know, switching schools and stuff like that?
Good question. Okay, so I spent like mostly like elementary school, like in Detroit, first of all, Alabama and Detroit, because I told you when my mother was on drugs, I was living with my aunt, Auntie Iris, who passed away. She lived in Detroit.
Wow.
That's when the pass around came around.
Okay. How old were you when you first went to Detroit?
When I first went to Detroit, I had to be around like 11.
Okay.
Probably like 9, 10, 11, 12.
So vivid, clear memories, right? Why don't you talk a little bit about what Detroit was like, right? I mean,
Oh, Detroit is crazy.
So I've heard.
I actually lived on 7 Mile. I lived on Matlin Street. I never forget that address, 14487 Matlin Street.
Wow.
Between Monarch and Gratiot.
Wow.
No lie. Right down the street from 8 Mile. It was crazy because in middle school there, it was like, it was bad. It was really bad. I remember me getting jumped in school by the whole school, damn near half of the school.
Wow. So when you're in Detroit, you said your auntie, but any other like family members, cousins, or uncles like that around too, or is it?
Yeah, I had my aunt down the street. What was Auntie Thelma? She was down the street and her kids, and so it was like a little block, whatever. But on that block, it was like family. Everybody took care of each other on that block because on that block was a lot of like bloods. It was a gang affiliated. It was a lot of bloods on there, and the bloods on our block, Matlin Street, took care of everybody on that street.
Right.
Like, if you was getting into something, let me go tell Auntie, let me go tell Iris that you, and then it will be on the popping. You know what I mean? Like, we would get in trouble, we got our ass whooped, whatever. She didn't play that, but they didn't either. So that's my life being in Detroit.
Okay, so even though it seemed like it might have been a dangerous neighborhood, you felt safe, right? Yeah. So what about when you might venture outside that neighborhood, right? Because I take it 7 miles pretty big as well. It's not just Matlin Street, right? So what about like venturing outside of that neighborhood? I guess explain what that was like.
You had 7 miles, you had 8 Mile way down the street, and then I used to go to Skateland.
Okay.
Skateland was the shit on Saturdays.
Nice.
What? Everybody was at Skateland. That's when I had met this first boy I had a crush on at Skateland. But finding out right there, Detroit, it was a lot of fun, but it was a short time because some stuff went down in Detroit and I had to like be rushed out of Detroit.
Okay.
It was family stuff that went down.
Okay.
One of my best friend who passed away, God rest your soul, her name is Crystal.
Wow.
Yeah, so some stuff that really went down was really dangerous between my sister, me, and my best friend.
Yeah.
And I had to be shipped out of Detroit, and that's how I ended up in Boston.
Wow. So, like, I mean, you don't have to get too deep into it, but so you pretty much had a real close friend you were hanging out with.
Tune in my book. I'm telling you, it gets good and deep, you guys.
Okay. So I take it, was this a victim of a violent crime, your friend?
Yes.
Okay. And you were just kind of too close for comfort?
Yes, I was, because that was my friend. Because that was my friend, they didn't like that, and I wasn't picking sides because I'm young. I'm not gonna pick sides who this. If you're wrong, you're wrong. So they didn't like that, so I had to get moved.
I mean, how did you feel being so young and then someone so close to you, you know, going out that way, or I guess because you said you weren't in Detroit that long, so I know it might be normal there, even though it's really not normal. People just normalize it. But I mean, how did you feel at that moment?
I felt hurt because I was the only one that had to go, and I didn't even start nothing.
You didn't want to go?
No, I was home. You know, I wanted to be by my aunt. You know, me and her we the same like birthday. I'm a Taurus. Her birthday May 6th, mine's May 4th.
Okay.
So we was real close. You know, that was my mom.
Wow.
At the end of the day, that was my mom too. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She taught me everything.
Wow.
I was a loner. So when they was outside doing them, going shopping and stuff like that, I was always at home with my aunt watching basketball, football. She was a sports person.
Okay.
So I was always at home with her, listening to them. That's how I know so much about what's the knowledge, because she used to teach me, teaching me all type of stuff.
Dropping jewels, yeah.
Yeah, teach me about life.
So you brought up the auntie a couple times out there. Were there any like male figures around when you were in Detroit, positive or negative, I guess?
No, not really.
Okay, so what about this day and age, social media and everything, people reconnect. Do we know where that first boyfriend is at now?
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's pray for him, at least hopefully he's safe, right?
Yeah, but last time I heard, he was, he had a barber shop or something.
Okay.
Up the street from 8 Mile, I don't know. But he's still in Detroit, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the differences you think between Detroit and Boston, right? What do you think are some of the differences as far as, like, I don't know, culture out there, or, you know, talk about that?
You know what? I don't think it's a lot of different, but Detroit, they crazy out there. Like, Detroit just don't, well, back in the day, Detroit didn't play with you.
Well, was this the BMF era and all that, too? Like,
I don't know. I was young then.
Right.
I don't know about that, but I know back then in Detroit, like you can look at somebody wrong and boom,
Might not
they'll
make it
shoot
home.
you. You're not gonna make it home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Detroit was very,
Yeah.
very rough. Let me remind you, it's right next to Chicago.
Yeah.
So it ain't no too far of a big difference. You know what I mean? So it was very rough. Like, and then you couldn't wear certain colors.
Yeah.
Colors,
Right.
certain blocks you couldn't wear certain color because Detroit is like was gang related, so
Right.
you got to be very careful what you wear.
Okay. That's wild. So what was next when you come back to, where did you go from Detroit? Was it Boston or was it Alabama?
It was Detroit, but so when my aunt passed away in Detroit was dead. I haven't been back to Detroit in over like 25 years.
Okay, but when you first left, where did you go to? Was it to?
I went to Boston because
Okay.
my aunt had passed away.
Okay.
So I had went to Boston. Let me remind you. Remember I told you about the story about I had to get shipped out. So I had to get shipped out, but my aunt was already sick
Yeah.
with cancer.
Wow.
So when I got shipped out to Boston, I ended up in Boston,
Damn.
and then
How did you feel about? It seems like you were pretty close with your aunt not being around, especially like you knowing she's sick too. Like when you left, man, that must have been heartbreaking, right?
This is why I'm doing this, It hurts every day.
Man.
Every day. And then, excuse me.
Okay.
Her birthday is only 2 days a day apart. My birthday is May 4th, hers May 6th. So it hurts.
Yeah.
Because every time my birthday comes, like, oh, Auntie, how you doing? And,
It must be tough because you want to celebrate, another year around the planet, but then you think about.
But then I think about, right, so it's tough, It's really tough. But, whatever.
My condolences.
She's looking down on me, so.
Hopefully she'll be watching this from up there, and I'm sure she's proud of you, especially like everything you've been telling me you've been up to. So when you say you moved to Boston, right, talk about like what part of Boston. We got Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan. I guess talk about that, like what part of Boston.
So when I moved to Boston, I moved to Fuller Street, up there in Dorchester on Fuller Street.
Okay.
And I lived there for a long time, well, like a couple years.
Okay.
I moved on Fuller Street like around like 13 years old.
Okay.
13, 14, I want to say, around that age.
So how did it go from how was the transition going, like changing schools and all that at a young age? I mean, was it easier because like being in Boston, you might have more people here, or were there less people in Boston? Actually, I'm just assuming that.
It's funny you said it because in Boston, I have both sides. I have my mother's side and my father's side.
Okay.
So I have a lot of people, a lot of family in Boston, a lot of family in Boston. You know what I mean? But transferring here, I was very antisocial because I was with my aunt all the time. Very antisocial. Like when I say she was strict, she was strict. Street lights come on. You got to be in front of the house when the sun come down. You got to be right on the porch. It was like that. Even though you're on the porch, the lights come on, you still got to go in the house.
Absolutely.
I was a square, what they call it.
Absolutely. But look at most of the squares are doing pretty well
Right.
now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you seem to have this thirst for knowledge, right? You're out here doing all this school, getting these certificates, right? Was that something that was part of your childhood too?
Auntie Iris was very smart. She was a cosmetology license. She had her license in a lot of stuff, medical field. She was in the medical field. She was in cosmetology. My father was from the Army.
Oh, okay.
He graduated from high school. Like I have a lot of history, like where my family is very educated.
Okay.
Very educated.
And did they pass that down to you? How did you do in school as far as like your grades?
You know what? My grades was kind of rocky. My grades didn't get better until I met my first.
Okay.
And then I started getting good grades.
So why do you think your grades were rocky? Did you just have a tough time adapting to the work, or were you in behavioral issues, a little bit of both?
Well, I really didn't want to be here in Boston. I wanted to go back home with my aunt in Detroit. So I was very antisocial. So I didn't want to be here. So I wasn't trying to really learn anything. I didn't want to go nowhere. There's been plenty of events I could have went to and everything. I was just like, I don't want to go. I want to go home. I want to go home, And then one day she was like, I'm going to introduce you to these friends. And I met these friends.
Okay.
And then that's when everything started rocking.
So when you said you met your first, right? I mean, what was it about that situation that now all of a sudden you wanted to get your grades right and everything like that? Were you just like happier or?
Because now I wanted to stay. So now I had something to stay for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I was just excited. Like, okay, I know somebody. He likes me. I like him. This is my first crush. Like, I never had no crush. Like, this
Yep.
is new to me. Like,
Right.
this was excited. And what he was doing, he was very popular.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I want to, okay. I think I want to stay. I think I'm doing okay. And then that's when everything just went crazy.
So, so you said that you came over, your grades started doing better, right? Before we get into how things got rocky, how did you do like behaviorally? Like, did you just get in fight? I know you said you got jumped over there in Detroit. Like, how did you do at school when you came over here as far as behavior?
Well, I was never a fighter.
Okay.
I was never a fighter. My aunt, and she knew that about me. That's why she used to buy us like punching bags in the basement. We used to like punch back because I was never a fighter. I was always like, I ain't gonna fight nothing. I ain't fighting shit. I'm running. What? When you say let's fight,
Smart.
I'll be the first car or house is down the street. You hear me?
Right.
I'm not fighting nothing. And then that's when I met him. Then when I met him, everything changed.
Okay, so I guess how old?
But hold on. But to answer your question,
continue.
I was really good in school. And
Well behaved.
Yeah, I was well behaved.
So then you meet your first two. I guess what age are you at this point? Age or grade range, and then like how does it go from this having somebody that you liked, you crush on, making you feel like you want to stay to, as you say, when things got a little crazier. So like how old were you, and then when did things start to turn bad, and what happened with that?
Okay. I was around like 14. I went to Hyde Park High Middle School. No, Hyde Park High, but it was the annex. At the time, the 9th grade building was down in Fenway because they was working on the 9th grade building at the main building in Hyde Park.
Okay.
So that's when I met him. And then when I met him, I was doing okay, but I see me transforming when I see my attitude changing when I got into an argument. And I just started dressing different. My attitude just started changing little bit by little bit, but it was changing, and I seen that. I didn't see it then, but now me going back thinking, I seen when I changed. Wow. You know what I mean?
And do you think it was like his attitude rubbing off on you, kind of deal, or talk
Absolutely.
about that? Yeah. Damn.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I was trying to be down. I was trying to be popular too.
Like you started getting a little bit into the streets, kind of deal.
No, I started trying to smoke cigarettes, smoking weed, and getting in the streets, but still had to be in a certain time. Like I still had to be on that. You know what I mean? So I was like sneaking half of this shit I was doing. You know what I mean?
Right. And in the streets, half in, half out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
kind of tough situation to be in.
That's what I was. Half in and halfway out.
But you wasn't a complete rebel. You were still going home on time and stuff like that. So how did things start to fall apart?
Things started to fall apart is when I got pregnant. I got pregnant when I was 15. Only had sex a couple times, and I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, I got fed to the wolves. It was like, okay, now you're really on your own.
From family?
Family, yeah, family. And him being like right there at the moment, like it just felt so good because me looking for love, you know what I mean? That's all I want. I just want love.
Yeah.
I just want somebody to love me. And I thought it was him. And it's crazy though because I was with this dude since I was 15 all the way up to, I'm 42 right now. All the way up to I was like 40, 42.
Wow.
I was married to him for like 13 years.
Damn.
But half of my marriage, I was in prison.
Oh.
Right. So with that being said, it all happened when I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant,
it wasn't even like a happy thing to be pregnant or anything like that. It wasn't like after the kid happened, or not happened, your child was born.
I don't say it was happy. And then Soon, it's crazy though, because soon as I got pregnant, I didn't hide. I told like the next day. You know what I mean? I don't know why I didn't like hide it.
Right.
I think I wanted to hide it. And I told like the next day. But as soon as I told the next day, that's when my grades started coming in good. I would start getting A's and B's and stuff like something, oh my God. And I would start doing good. And then as soon as I told I was pregnant, that's when she gave me an ultimatum. Either get an abortion or you go to your mom's.
Wow.
I didn't know what abortion was. I'm not doing. I'm scared. I'm already scared I'm pregnant.
Right.
So I was like, no, it's okay. I'll go to my mom's. And she was like, okay. So like, I think it was like 2 days later, I was in Alabama.
Okay. And you went to Alabama with your boyfriend at the time, or how did that work out?
It was just by myself.
Wow.
My boyfriend was living with his mom and stuff.
I mean, how did he feel about that? I mean, you said you were together almost this whole time. Was it more off and on thing, or how did he feel about that?
No, he didn't. It was just like, wow, you got to up and leave. It's just like, you got to up and leave. That's crazy. Like, just up and left. But when I had my baby, he did come down there to see me.
I was just about to ask that. So you had the baby down there.
But let me tell you something. This is not my husband. My husband that's the one I've been with for 15 to 42. But when I broke up with him around that time.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying
right,
that.
I broke up with him around, clarify that.
Yep, absolutely.
So I broke up with him around that time. And then I met my baby's father. And then I got pregnant.
Wow.
And then I got shipped. Boom. But it seemed like every time I came back to Boston, it was always me and my first.
Right. Wow. So how did your husband feel about the whole situation? I mean, you getting pregnant while you guys were broken up. I'm sure he wasn't too happy about that.
Nah, he wasn't happy about that.
Wow.
And he even questioned me too about that.
You didn't try to like say it was his or anything like that?
No, because I know it wasn't.
Well, that's good. At least you were honest about it, right? So how do things start to fall apart or get crazy? Did things get like physical? Is it a domestic
With him?
violence thing? Or
with
the what is it? Your kid's father was.
Not
I don't know to explain it. You said things got crazy.
My
so
kid's
I guess
father was good. No, my kid's father.
Okay.
Okay, you talking about my husband, my ex-husband. Well,
Okay.
I was with for all these years, like 25, 26 years. Yes, it was crazy. Domestic violence. That's when I learned how to do everything, like my 1-2s and everything else, every stuff that I wouldn't imagine doing. I did because I loved him. I loved him. I thought he loved me,
Do you think he like resented you, and a lot of that was over having a baby with somebody else, or?
I think so. I think they have a lot to do with it, and he's not going to tell me that, but it seemed like when I had like another man's baby instead of his baby, because he's the first one I met. I think he feels some type of way, and I think ever since then he like treated me some type of way.
And so, you have a son or a daughter, by the way?
I have a daughter.
Okay.
I have 3 kids actually, and I have a grandson.
Oh, congratulations! But the first was your daughter.
My daughter, yeah.
Okay. So now you're in Alabama. You have your daughter. How long are you in Alabama now for? And like, what are you doing to get by? Like, how you making money?
Okay, so I'm in Alabama, and I live with my granny. So now at this time, I'm collecting welfare. Yeah, I'm collecting welfare, and I'm also working too at Super 8 Motel and whatever. So it was hard because down south, I live in the country. So no cars, no nothing. Like, when I said the store is like a long ways, it's a long ways. So I like kind of struggled too, but I had like a lot of support down there. When like my cousins and them and my granny, they had cars and vehicles and stuff like that. So it was cool.
And how long are you down there for in Alabama? Is that like
Alabama?
long time?
Alabama's like home.
Okay.
Alabama's always gonna be home. Always gonna be home.
What's your favorite part about Alabama?
I like Montgomery. I like the Gump.
Okay.
The Gump is
capital,
where
right?
it's at. Yeah, the Gump is where it's at. The Gump is
Okay.
where it's at. But down south, I just feel like it's peace. They got hospitality. Like they don't look at you different. It's just so refreshing. So when I'm overwhelmed up here, I'll take a trip down south to get away from everything, because it's a lot up here. And then you go down there, it's like, whoa. Yeah.
So when do you eventually come back to Boston or Massachusetts, right? Because you mentioned Framingham, so you didn't get in trouble in Alabama. When do you come back? Why?
I came back here because, like I said, I got family live up here too. But I have a lot of girl cousins, so I didn't have like a lot of like friends because I have a lot of girl cousins, a lot of them. So I was like hanging with them like a lot, and and they got me in a lot of stuff, and I'm here. And I can't say all. I can't say all of them. I gotta take some accountability for my own actions because I do, because nobody put a gun to my head, made me do anything I didn't want to do. You know what I mean? I did what I did. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I have a lot of girl cousins, so when I came up here, I got into a lot of stuff. Like you said, I didn't catch a case down south. I didn't catch a case up here.
Okay. But why was the reason for the move back up here? Did you just want to be with family, or was it a situation down there that you know?
It ain't nothing down there.
Just got
It's
bored
more.
with it.
The money's up here.
Oh, okay.
And me, I'm like I said, I'm a city girl too. So I was like, oh no, I gotta go. I gotta make better moves. I have to go.
So you said you had got your GED since you've been out. So what happened in high school? I guess the timeline. Where was that? And was it because you got pregnant? Is that what happened?
I got pregnant. I had my baby.
Okay.
And since my mother was outdoing her, and my grandmother was already old, and she was already elderly. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna leave my kid on her like this. So I dropped out of school at 11th grade.
Okay.
My only one more year.
Dang.
So I just dropped out.
So then you come back up here, back to Boston. How long before you got in some serious trouble? Were you up here a long time, or was it fast? Or talk about that. How long was it?
I was up here for a while.
Okay.
Like for me, I will go like down south for like 2 years,
Okay.
and I come back up here for like 3 years, and I'll just do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But for this particular reason, I was up in Boston for like a long time.
Okay. And before you caught this, serious case, was there any other cases that you had caught up here? I know you said you was getting in trouble up here. I didn't know if you meant just that, but talk about talk about that. Any other cases beforehand?
It was been a few cases, shoplifting, one battery case. But most of my stuff has been because I used to be like a booster. Most of my stuff been like shoplifting and stuff like that.
So did you ever do any time before you eventually caught your serious case, or what happens? Probation? Talk about
just
what happened.
Probation, misdemeanors.
Okay.
Just misdemeanors. I never did time. Never did like a month in prison. Never did 3 days.
Okay. And you mentioned you started smoking weed and all that before. Is that something that continued? Were you able to do that on probation, or are you the type to, if you have to stop, you can stop, if it's going to keep you out of jail?
Right. So I was on probation where, I did have to stop for like 6 months. And I did that. I stopped for like 6 months and then got off of that. And then I was back out here in the streets.
Okay. So now eventually you catch this serious case, manslaughter charge. Was that the initial charge? I know that a lot of times they try to charge you higher and it might come down to a plea. I guess talk about, the events that led up to it, what happened. You don't have to share whatever you don't want to, but I guess get a little bit into that. You got to leave something for the book, right?
Yeah, I do. Basically, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. What happened to me shouldn't happen to me or her, because I liked her. And what a lot of people don't know, before this happened, me and her was actually in a party talking. Wow. I liked her for a girlfriend type, because I'm bisexual.
Okay.
So it was cool. So I was like, okay, let me stop and go get us a drink. And while I'm getting a drink, I ran into one of my coworkers. We started talking, and then all hell broke loose. And that's how that started.
Wow. So unfortunately, she didn't make it. Was it a shooting situation, or I guess how did she pass?
It was a knife.
Okay.
A knife was involved.
Wow.
A stabbing was involved.
After that goes down, even in cases of self-defense, You're a black woman, you know what I mean? Like, how did you feel? You feel you were done as far as like getting in trouble with guilt? I guess the emotions must have been kind of crazy, or maybe it didn't sink in and you were numb. I don't know. I guess explain that for me.
When it happened, it was like, it happened so fast.
Yeah, I imagine.
It happened so fast that I didn't know what was going on. All I know, and I never told this to nobody, all I know is that I was scared. I was scared for my life. I was so scared.
For like retaliation?
I was scared that I was not going to make it. I just wanted everybody to stop. It was so much stuff was going on. Like, this person was fighting this person. It was so many different groups that was fighting. I just wanted everybody to just stop. Just stop. And nobody stopped until it happened, you know?
And so did you make it home that night, or was there an arrest made before the night was over? Or how does that work,
You know what? That night, it was so blurry to me, and it was like a blackout to, I don't even know how I got home. But I woke up in my bed.
Wow.
And when I woke up in my, I think I went to the hospital that night because I was stabbed as well. Okay. I got cut up too. And I think I went to the hospital that night, and then I ended up in my bed the next morning or something.
Wow.
But it happened so fast and it was so long ago, like I really can't, like, I know like bits and pieces. Right. But if I sit down and really think about it, and I have to do that for my book, then I know everything can come together, you know?
Okay. So how does the arrest come? How do you get a warrant in the mail, something that serious? I'm pretty sure that they'll try to come and get you. Are you at home, on the street? I'm sure you remember the arrest, or?
So yeah, so when I got arrested, it was like 6 months after.
Wow.
After the incident had happened.
Yeah.
And only because it was only 6 months after, because I was a victim as well. And then 2 people went to the police station, which is my cousins, went down there and said, "Oh, I know who's this such and such on this street."
Wow. And
that's how they came and got me.
And was this at your house, or where did they come and get you?
They came and got me at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, early in the morning.
So I mean, talk about those 6 months, like mentally, right? I mean, you must have been a mess with everything, or was it all a blur?
At the time, I was working at Target.
Wow.
And my cousin told me this story to this day. She was like, when I seen you that day at Target, she was like, I think I saw a ghost.
Wow.
She was like, you wasn't even there.
Yeah.
She was like, I just never seen you like that. When I say I was here, but I wasn't here.
So you say that day, was this like you woke up in your bed and you went to work the next day kind of deal? Wow. The police came to your door, they arrested you. I mean, what do they tell you, right? Do they tell you, like, you know, a lot of times, what am I being locked up for? They don't want to tell you nothing. Like, how did that go?
I mean, the way they came deep. They came to my front door, my back door. They came deep. And I knew they was coming.
You knew what it was? Man.
I knew what it was because when I went to my my peephole, it was like we was looking at each other through the peephole. He was like, I know you in there. I was like, I am.
Damn.
Open up the door and...
So, okay, how does that work, right? You're from Boston, so there's a, you go to Nashua? Like, how does it work with the counties for...
So if you're in Dorchester, you go to Dorchester Court, and then you go to South Bay.
South Bay, okay. So talk about that experience, right? You said never been locked up before, a couple petty charges. Now you're in the big girls' jail, right? And before you even get to the big girls' prison, but I mean, jail could be, you know, overwhelming, especially for someone who's never been there. So I guess talk about like what that was like, because it's like you got all these emotions going on with the case, but now too you got to also, you know, kind of hold your head up and, you know, not show those and adapt too, because you don't even know you got to do that, but you kind of learn quick. I guess talk about how that went down.
How that went down was like, when I got like sentenced, it was hard because my kids was in the system at the time.
Cut you off real quick. Before the sentence, how was jail like?
Oh, jail.
You know what I mean? The first time, you know what I mean? Because when you get sentenced, I'm sure you were already down a little bit.
They said that.
Yeah,
the
first time in jail.
Okay, yeah. They sent me to South Bay. I was in Dorchester when I got arraigned, and after my arraignment, they sent me to South Bay jail.
Okay.
But since it was so much of a riot of me coming there, a big deal, because I was all over the news. And since it was a big deal of me coming there, I had to get shipped out. I just did South Bay jail for like a week. But
Okay.
I was in like the infirmary.
Okay.
I couldn't go to GP.
Okay.
I had to go to the infirmary till I got shipped out.
And where do you get shipped out to? Another county?
Yes, I went to Barnstable.
So the Cape.
I went to the Cape.
So how was that like?
21-hour lockdown for like awaiting trial. So I was like on a 20-hour lockdown for like almost a year. I did 18 months there. And it was terrible. I was on one unit. We couldn't get off the unit. It was like a deck. It was like a rec deck. You could just go on the deck and stuff. But you couldn't get off that unit and the waiting trial.
Okay.
So it was tough, but.
Did you get in any trouble, maybe with the staff or other inmates, nothing like that? Stayed out of trouble?
I stayed out of trouble my whole 18 months.
Wow.
Because I knew they was watching me.
Now, pre-trial, did they have any programs or anything like that for y'all? Or anything
No,
that you
not
did?
really. They had like a like you can go to like this one program like every Wednesday. It was like a church, like a little meeting program. But you didn't get good time off of that. It was just like you could just volunteer and go.
Right, yeah. Usually that's the case with pre-trials. You don't get good time. Is that something you went to? Did you go to church? And like, because we've talked about God a little bit too. So is that where you start to reconnect with God? Or I know you said you went a lot as, you know, with your family and stuff too, but sometimes, you know, we kind of lose ourselves along the way, so.
I did. I lost myself through him. And that's why he put me 12, 13 years, because I lost myself. I was disobedient to him.
Wow.
So he had to put me somewhere so I can get back to him.
Okay, so you end up with a manslaughter conviction amongst other things. Are they charging you with a second, a first, or was it manslaughter from the jump?
It was at first it was like second degree, and then they dropped it down to like, you know, just straight manslaughter, like, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that a plea bargain, or did you go to trial? Did you consider going to trial?
No, I didn't go to trial. That was a plea.
Okay.
I took a plea. I didn't go to trial because I was scared. It was
Yeah.
my first time doing this, and I knew I had did something wrong.
Right.
And I know I had to pay for what I did. You know what I mean? So I
pay your
knew
debt.
I had to go.
Okay. And did you have a paid lawyer or a court-appointed lawyer? How did that go?
Well, at first I had a paid lawyer. I had a paid attorney. And then when my father passed away, he took her pro bono.
Oh, okay. So it was the same attorney?
Same attorney.
Damn. I mean, how was that dealing with your father passing away while you're locked up? It's got to be tough.
I still haven't got closure. Because when my father passed away, I was in a waiting trial. And in a waiting trial, with my case, I couldn't leave.
Yeah.
It was like a danger or something or whatever. But anyways, I couldn't see my father.
Wow.
So I didn't see my father for the last time.
And it's tough too, being on the inside, losing people, because it's not like you go from seeing them every day, talking to them. It's like you kind of, you know, got to go about the next day like the same as the day before. Even with that, it's got to be a tough one. Did you have at least maybe, I don't know, friends, or you call them not, but anyone there to support you as far as like other people in custody, like other inmates, where they, you know what I mean, that they could support you or be a shoulder to lean on or something like that? Or was it something kind of chin up girl and kind of got to do your thing?
I did. I had one friend. Her name was Hope.
Okay.
She was with me through it a lot.
Okay.
Because when I say I had a rough time, it was rough. I couldn't believe it. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And to this day, I don't know, I'm just looking for my dad.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know, but it's so hard. But anyways, that being said, yeah, she was there for me. She really was there for me during that hard time.
Okay. So how did you feel about the plea bargain that you got? How did you feel about that? Was it something that you just kind of had to cut it up and just get it done? It's still a lot of time, with 13, I mean, especially someone who's never been in.
On the grace of God, I got 12,
Could have
13.
been worse. Yeah.
It could have been worse. I could have got life.
Wow.
I could never seen the daylight.
Yeah.
So God was watching over me. His angels and everybody up there that I love was watching over me. Because it could have been worse.
It absolutely could have been, and now you're out here to try to help
It
others.
could
Now,
have been so worse.
talk about, now you go to Framingham. Now this is prison, right? I guess talk about like pulling up to the gates. You know, what's that?
Scared, shocked, don't know what's going on, what's happening. I'm scared right now. So I'm in this van. It's dark. I gets in there. They tells me to line up. I line up. Now they tell me to go in the cell. I go in the cell, so I'm sitting with like 5, 6 females. They looking at me. I'm trying to look straight ahead because I don't know. It's my first time. I'm scared as shit. I think they gonna shake me or something.
Right.
It was crazy. All this stuff was going through my mind, but it's reality. Now I'm here, and shit like this happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I first got there, it was like, oh, you gotta take a shower and stuff like that before you can go in the unit. So I did. I took my shower. I did that. I did all the intake. And when I first got the intake, what really, really set is when she was like, oh, you got 12, 13 years. Oh, just get comfortable. You're gonna be here for a while. And I was just like, in my mind, comfortable didn't sit right with me. But for a while, sat right with me. Because I would never get comfortable in a place like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when she said comfortable, I was like, okay, no. I do got a date to come home.
Absolutely.
But sitting for a while, I agree on that one.
Yeah.
But I would never get comfortable for not in a place like that. You know what I mean? It was very scary. It was petrifying. Like, I didn't know what to expect or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was unnecessary to say that. I mean, how were the guards generally towards y'all? And was it like a lot of, women, you know, a lot of women working there, a good balanced amount with men and women? I guess talk about the treatment of the guards to
Right.
y'all.
So the guard, like the male guards is really okay. The female guards got a lot of issues with them. I don't know if it comes from their trauma or their childhood or whatever, but they got a lot of issues. And the way they treat people is not the way you're supposed to treat people at all. At all. And like, I got along with a lot of them, but some of them I didn't get along with because of my crime and what I came from and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I got judged off of what I did, you know what I mean? Of not as, well, this is Takisa, and she's this person right here. She's a really good person.
Right.
I got judged by book it by cover, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's not right, you know?
Absolutely. So now that you get your time, you know you got an out date, you know there's light at the end of the tunnel, like you said, it's gonna be a while. How do you start like doing your bid, right? Do you start getting into programs? Do you start reading? I guess, how did you manage your time working out, playing I mean, there's only so much you can do, but when do you start getting in that like almost groove, or when the time starts to go a little fast, the adjustment phase, you know?
Okay, so when I got there, I was depressed for like 2 years.
Wow.
2 years I was depressed. Because like I said, you know, before I got locked up, you know, I was with my husband. You know what I mean? And the way he like abandoned me, I couldn't understand why. So I was in depressed. I lost my father. My kids is in the system at this time. Like, I want to like literally die.
Wow. Yeah.
I want it in my fucking life right now.
Wow.
Because this shit is not supposed to be happening to me when I'm literally a good person, you know?
Right.
Why is this happening to me?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And I
It's a
said
lot
that
to
shit
deal
for a very long time. Very long time. But then when I had to sit and I thought about it, and I sat there for 2 years depressed in my bed, like crying, like rocking myself in a knot. Because I just couldn't believe this shit was happening to me like that. And somebody that I always loved and thought loved me could leave me like that.
Yeah.
I've been with you since I was 15 years old, bro.
Yeah, that's wild.
How did you leave me like that? Like, I would never do you like that. So after my 2 years, I finally started, you know, getting a little better. You know, I started listening to my gospel music, I going to church.
What was your relationship with God like those 2 years during the depression? Were you like mad at God, or was he the only thing getting you through?
The 2 years in depression, you know who got me through it? It was God and Ramik.
Okay.
Ramik got me through a lot. A lot.
Who was Ramik?
Meek Mill.
Oh, okay.
His middle name is Ramik. That's what I
music?
call him as. I call him
yeah.
Ramik because that's what I call him in prison. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't call him Rob. I don't call him Meek Mill. I just call him Ramik because that's what I know him as. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I have so much, like a deep connection with him.
Yeah.
It's not, I feel like I already know him.
Yeah.
And I don't know him. But I do know him.
Wow.
Because he got my aunt's birthday, May 6th.
Wow.
So it was like he saved my life.
Man, hopefully he sees this too. Did you always have that relationship with music, or was this something that like?
Oh yeah, I always had it with music, and it was funny because I always connected. I was my My go-to person was Tyrese and Jeezy. Oh my
Okay.
God, I was in love with them. But there was something about Meek Mill, where Meek that was very different. You could tell it was real, and the fact that all his songs, he mentioned God in it. He never left them out. He never left them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And from us being tourists, I feel you. I feel you.
Wow.
And thank you
Yeah,
so much,
that's
because
amazing.
I wouldn't be here if it wouldn't be for you and me. I thank you so much. God bless you.
So you had said about Barnstable, right? You got the rec decks. You're on the unit all day. You get to prison now. You got like a yard and like, I guess talk about that. You guys got weights there. Like, what's the
No weights.
no weights?
No weights. Just
yard,
a
though?
rec deck. Just a deck. You go out there. The little sunroof is open, and that's it. That's
So
it.
there's no like big yard in Framingham like that?
Oh,
I'm saying when you got the Framingham, yeah.
When I got the Framingham, I'm talking about Barnstable. The one at the Framingham, yeah, it's a big yard.
A little bit more open.
Oh, yeah, it's a very big yard. And I did all my time out there in that yard. I got to know who I was.
So what did you do in that yard? Did you just sit there? You walk in like
We walked, we played dominoes, we played cards, we joked around, we made Framingham what it was. Like, we did that. Because it was like, Framingham was like so many people. Like we had like you had like the cottages was open, Laurel, and you had Pioneer and stuff like that was open, but they shut all of them down, and they sent a lot of counties back to their counties.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of people back to their counties, so they like downsized it.
Okay.
But when they downsized it, it was like nothing. They took a lot of programs away.
Wow. That's sad.
They didn't care no more.
Yeah.
They didn't care. The shit started falling apart. It was terrible.
Dang.
It was terrible at one time.
So what about as far as like the violence? Is that an often thing, in a woman's prison, or that woman's prison at least, or is it every so often?
It is. It is the often thing. And 9 out of 10, the females in Framingham gonna let you know they gonna do something before they do it. The guards don't give a damn. They don't care.
Yeah.
And we come and tell you, I'm gonna fuck her up if you don't get her right now or something. You know what? One officer told me, so what you gonna do? You gonna lock in, or you want me to take you to the hole? Like, what y'all gonna do? And all I want to be is a cell change.
Yeah.
I got time. I want a cell change. So you ready for me to give up all what I work for to go home, to lose my parole, so you changing my cell, but you want me to stay here to fight,
Right.
to stay long in your system? Doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'm thinking he gonna change my cell. He told me, oh no, what you gonna do? You gonna lock in, or what you gonna do? You gonna go to hole or what?
Yeah.
What?
Over something so small.
Something so small.
And so you said your kids were in the system. Okay, like are they in DCF? Are they getting like locked up? What did you mean by that?
No, my kids were small at the time, so they was in DCF custody.
Okay. I mean, how did you feel like as a mother at that time too? I mean,
I feel like shit. I feel like I abandoned my kids. How my mom abandoned me. How James abandoned me, which is Hennessy. I feel like I abandoned my kids. And I'm all they had.
Yeah.
I know I was all they had. They ain't got nobody.
Right. That's why they're in DCF, not with family, right?
They ain't got nobody but me.
Damn.
How could I do that to them?
Damn.
I'm all they got, and they all I got.
Yeah.
You know, without my kids, it was like, it was nothing. Like, I fought for my kids. Like me, I could live on the streets all day. I don't care. I can survive. My kids can't live on the street with me, you know what I mean?
Damn.
So I fought going to shelters. I fought trying to make sure my kids had somewhere to live.
Yeah.
I boost. I got income. I did everything. I did with everything to make sure my kids, I provided for them, you know what I mean? So when I went to prison, it was like,
Felt helpless, right?
me and my kids still don't have a relationship like that to this day.
Really? None of them try to reach out, or you try to reach out to them during these years in prison? Was there any communication?
I reached out to them. I talked to them a lot.
Okay.
All the time. I kept in contact with them a lot. But it was rocky. Sometimes they would like hang up on me.
Yeah.
Don't answer for weeks. My oldest. My son was acting up at one time. My daughter was. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't do nothing.
Dang.
Hopeless.
Wow. Exactly.
Hopeless.
And you had mentioned with the COs kind of not really being the most, polite people and all that stuff. Did you end up getting in any trouble there? I know you said you did the 18 months in Barnstable, no trouble. You end up doing any whole time?
Yes.
So
What?
what happened? So
I
okay, what
probably
happened?
took like 4 or 5 whole trips in my old time, which is pretty good to me.
For that long?
I mean, I
yeah.
avoided a lot of fights, but I want to go home. I want out. You know what I mean? So yeah, I went to whole like 4 or 5 times fighting like my girlfriends
Oh, okay.
because they disrespectful.
Okay.
So I had to do what I had to do.
Does that happen often in there with
Yeah.
like a domestic kind of situation? What
Yeah, it
about as
happens
far as like gangs and stuff like that? Is that a big politic thing in Framingham or not so much?
No, not really. We don't. It's not like they're not like really gang related up there. It's just all
cliquey.
about respect.
Yeah.
Just give me my respect, I give you. Give me my space, I give you yours. That's all Framingham all about: respect and space. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Don't try me, and I won't try you.
Wow.
You
So
know?
you had mentioned getting your GED when you got out. Did they not provide that in there, or was it the fact that, like, what
Oh,
happened
yeah.
there? Did you try?
Oh yeah, I got I graduated like 4 classes in there. The only thing I was lacking was science.
Oh, okay.
So I graduated all my classes
so you
in
just had to
except for
do that.
science.
Okay.
So when I came out here, that's when I got science.
Okay.
Science
Nice.
is like a husband.
Nice.
Domestic violence. I don't like science. They don't like me, but it's okay. I got you.
So
Yeah.
eventually, when you start getting close to being released, right? Was this Did you said you didn't want to mess up parole? Did you eventually get your parole? Was it the first time, or how does that happen?
Right before I got parole, like 2 weeks before I got parole, I got into a fight.
Damn.
Could have lost everything. Everything. And
So 2 weeks before you were getting out on parole, or 2 weeks before you were going to see the parole board?
2 weeks before I was going to see the parole board,
Okay. Wow.
I got into a fight. And you know when you go in front of the parole board, a fight so soon like that,
Right. Recent. Yeah.
they bring up everything, which they gonna bring it up anyways.
Yeah.
But it was really bad on my end, you know. It was real bad.
So talk about that feeling of going in front of the parole board. I mean, your freedom, your life is at these other people's, these strangers' hands. They don't know you before, you know what I mean? All this, they just see on paper. I mean, talk about that feeling and what that was like.
Whew, going in front of the parole board. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I didn't go by myself. I went with God. When I say He held my hand, He held my hand, and I was scared. And all I can remember is my hand coming down like this, and He was just like, "You ready?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm ready." "You sure?" He was like, "You sure?" "Ready." And I went in there. And when I went in there, it was like it wasn't me.
Out of body experience almost.
It was like He took over me.
Yeah.
He took over my mind, my body, emotions, and everything. And it's weird because when I came in, I told my story, right? And then they told their story and how they felt and about me getting parole. And then the last part, they asked me again, because they already asked me the first time, well, how do you feel? Like, but when they asked me the last time, they said, we're going to give one more chance to ask you how you feel. And when they asked me that, I broke down immediately, crying everywhere. It was so bad. The CEO was like, "This is enough. We taking her out of here now."
Wow.
Like I was like, I was ventilating. I couldn't breathe. Like I already have anxiety, but it was bad. It was so bad that they had to take me up out of there.
Wow.
Yeah, they was like, "We're not doing this."
So when do you eventually, like, how do you find out? Do you get something in the mail? I mean, how does that work with the parole?
Well, when I did get parole, Vanessa, which is the parole lady, she called to the unit. I was in Laura, and she said, "Tell Matthews to come down." Well, she can't say TK because a lot of CEOs call me TK, but you know you can't do that. So tell Matthews to come down. So I went down. She was like, "I just want to let you know that you got your parole." I said, "You're lying." She said, "Yes, you did." And I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, I'm so nervous." She was like, "And they also wanted to tell you that your story is one of the most interesting stories they have ever seen coming in front of the parole board like that."
Yeah.
They said it was very, very vulnerable and very emotional. And they just won't let you say good luck.
Well, I mean, especially 2 weeks after a fight. I mean, you must have really, tugged on the heartstrings. So, I mean, how did that feel? I know you said you was nervous, a little scared, but mixed with excitement.
I'm shaking right now. I was so nervous, so scared because I was like, this is actually happening. Like, I'm really going home after 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, what? I was freaking out. But guess what? I didn't tell nobody.
Smart.
Until like the same day I left.
Yeah.
And everybody looking like, why are you packing? Why are you cooking? I was like, I'm going home. They was like, you're lying. Like, what happened? I'm gone. I'm out of here.
So for the people who don't know, why didn't you tell anybody?
Because in Framingham, they're real petty. They'll fight you. They'll take it away. They'll do anything they can
Misery
to
loves
keep
company.
you there.
Yeah. Wow.
And a OG told me that. Her name is Annette Stewart, and she called me Blueberry. Because, I was real fat back then. I was real fat. I was like 300 pounds. I was big. I was heavy. And she said, Blueberry, let me tell you something. Whenever you get your parole, don't tell nobody, because you know how they is about you.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know what she was talking about, but I put two and two together, you know. And I was like, okay, and I'm not going to tell nobody. And I didn't tell nobody until I left that day.
So did you start to move around the compound differently? Did you start to plan for your release? There's only so much you could do from in there. I guess did they say you failed to plan? You plan to fail? Like, did you start moving differently, and did you start to develop a plan of what it was going to look like?
Yes, I started moving way differently. Like, I started being in my room more. I started packing up little stuff here and there. I started talking on the phone in my room more. Because we had a tablet you could take in your room and talk on them. I talk in my room, my mom and stuff. I was like very excited, but I didn't want everybody to know.
Yeah.
So I was moving like real different, real different. And then everybody kept coming to my door, like my friends kept coming to my door, like, why your room looks so empty? And I'm like, oh, I'm just cleaning up. I just got to get rid of all this stuff. It's just a lot of stuff. But little did they know I was going home.
Wow. So, I mean, talk about that first day. Going home, you got to go right to the parole office. I mean, what was that day like? Did you get something good to eat? I mean,
you know what's crazy though? Because when I first, when I got in the cell to get released, they got to come through the door, and so the CO stop you and check everything, right? When I got to that door, I was like, they're not gonna let me out. I thought they was gonna turn me back around.
Wow.
And as soon as I hit the door, something told me, like, don't look back. And when I hit that door and I got in that girl's car, Lakia, Credible Messenger, hi Kia, and I just kept going. I didn't look back.
That's amazing.
I just kept going.
Doing all that time, a decade in, what was the worst part about being in prison?
Support. Not having no one. Wanting to give up, just hopeless, praying for the better.
Yeah.
Praying for the better and not for the worse,
Yeah.
But most of all, just support. Like, if you don't have no one to support you in there, I don't know how people make it. That's why a lot of people go to the hole, they commit suicide, because you need someone. Someone.
So is this when you started to develop the idea of all the stuff that you did when you got out, the bartending school, everything like that? Did you know you were going to take this route, or is this something okay, so talk about that. Like, what made you think of this stuff? Talk about that process of planning for that stuff. Was it a lot to be, it's going to look good for my parole officer? Is there some stuff you really wanted to do, and what was that like?
Well, I always had a plan that I always wanted to own my own hair salon. So I always had that since I was a kid, so I already knew that was going to be in plan. But the bartending, I had that right down the line too. But what got me going on like this, because pathways and me having mentors in prison and stuff, I had some really good people by my side, like some business owners.
Nice.
Like, I had some really good people.
Okay.
And first thing they taught me was that you got to have a goal.
Yeah.
You got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan to put in the goal of your career and your future, you're coming back.
Yeah.
you're coming back.
Gotta
There's
be
no
working towards
guarantee
something.
in of sabbat you're coming back if you don't have nothing planned, set up or a goal for you. So what's your goal, Takisa? I'm looking like, okay. So talking to them, I started writing down stuff. I started writing down my goals, and every time, and when I came out, I would check it off. Okay, I did that.
That
I
must have
did
felt
that.
good.
It felt real good, and I also got taught like you can't do every test at one time. You
Yeah,
have to do
yeah.
one test at a time. Get finished with that and go
Yeah.
into the next one.
I always tell people if you plan on staying out, you got plenty of time. You don't overwhelm yourself. You know what I mean? Especially after doing it a decade.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
Ease
why I
into
said
it.
you got to take one test at a time.
So what was the first thing that you got into as far as education, and then how long until you got the employment too?
Okay, so I got out February 29th of 24, and I got my high set diploma around April.
Okay.
April, May,
Fast.
real fast. And then I was like, oh, word, now I can go to hair school. I already had signed up though. I was just waiting until I passed that one test. So as soon as I passed that test, I was already in school. I went to school like the next week later.
Wow.
After my GED. So I went there. I got in real fast. And then I did that for a year. I graduated. And then my next step is the cosmetology license. Because I'm not like everybody else and I have a crime, I have a case, I had to go in front of the board as well. Yes.
Okay. What do you mean
I
by
had to
that?
go in front of
The
cosmetology board.
Okay.
Yes. They wouldn't let me just up and just take my license.
That was just to get approved to go get into the school?
No, that's just to prove to get my license.
Oh, okay.
They didn't tell
You
me
already
that.
did the school.
I already did the
Wow.
school, but had I known, I would have still did it.
Right.
But give me the heads up.
Damn.
I didn't give me no heads up until after I finished school.
Communication.
And then they said, "Oh well, we can't let you take your test right now. We can't schedule it because you have to go in front of the cosmetology board." I was like,
I mean, how'd you feel
okay.
about that? You just went in front of a parole board not too long ago. Was this more intimidating, less, same?
It brought back up my life. I had to
Reopen
everything.
So when you're
All
going,
over again.
so when you're going to school and all this stuff, right? Are you like telling people your story? Like, do they know, or like, did you keep that to yourself? Let me just. Okay, why?
I don't tell anybody my story until
Get the book.
I kind of like read people very well. So, like, I know who to tell it to and who not to tell it to.
Was it ever a thing of feeling like shame or embarrassed about it, or not so much? You don't want people knowing your business more so.
Not shame or embarrassed because I'm not ashamed embarrassed of that right there.
Okay.
Not at all. And I don't know, maybe I should be because I did 10 years, but I'm not ashamed of that because that's part of my life.
Yeah.
That's something that I obviously have to go through to get where I'm at.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But it was more often like, I'm very private when it comes out of my business. I'm very personal. So it's like, if I don't know you like that, then I'm not going to say nothing. You would never thought I would do like 10 years.
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
Never. But don't tell nobody that because I feel like it's none of your business. Unless it comes up and I'm comfortable around you to tell you that.
What's the main, I guess, lesson that you got from all your time in prison? Did you take any lessons from there and talk about that?
First, number one lesson when I got taught is my auntie told me, don't let the time do you, you do the time. That went a long ways. My second lesson I got taught in prison was how to humble myself. Humble. And something I never did.
Be humble or get humbled.
Be humble or get humble, exactly. Something I never did. Patient. Woo.
Almost no choice with that one.
Something I never had. But being in Framingham, I learned a lot of patience.
Yeah.
A lot. I had no choice. And once thing I learned about in Framingham was that I got to know who I was. Who am I? Now I know who I am. Because I had nothing but time and time and time to think about who is Takisa? Who is she? Who is she? And that's what I learned.
So I don't have, I've had a couple women up here, not a lot. So I want to know, like, what message do you have for maybe like the young girls or young women out there that might be, dibbling and dabbling in, the streets, or even stuff like shoplifting and stuff like that. Like, what message would you have for them?
The message I have for young women and young teens, and that's what I want to do too. I want to get in like the mentor thing, because if I can change one person's life out of 100, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is that listen to his voice. God is everywhere. He made all of us. And trust and believe, you hear something before you do anything. Just listen. Don't go over there. Don't do that. Just listen. And most importantly, have a goal. Have a plan what you want to do. Write stuff down what you want to do, how you're going to take, and take it one day at a time. Trust me, it worked for me.
Yeah.
It worked for me, and always, regardless of whatever you're going through, you got to pray. You just have to pray.
Absolutely.
You just have to pray.
You got to have some sort of
You gotta
direction.
pray.
But I agree with the direction part, right? Because you got to have something to be working towards, Otherwise, I feel like you're aimlessly wandering, which could be even more dangerous than actually having a direction that's a negative direction. Because at least you know what you want. Like not knowing, and it's a bad place to be. I feel
very
like
bad.
Absolutely.
The not knowing it's bad because you don't know. You know what I mean?
And that can take you anywhere.
Anywhere.
Wow. So since you've been out, have you had a chance to go back to Alabama or anything like that?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I went to Alabama a year ago because my stepfather passed away.
Damn. A lot of loss. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It makes it so bad. It's like the people that's very close to me that die. Like people that love me unconditionally that die. And sometimes I don't want to get too close to people.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to disappear.
Right.
It's like every time I get close to somebody, real close to them, they genuinely like care for me. Either like they end up passing away, or they end up getting different jobs, moving different states, and I lose contact.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't get close to people like that no more.
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of sucks that it was like a bad situation why you had to go down there, but I mean, was it good to kind of
It was good. It was good because I haven't been down there in over like 20 years. So when everybody saw me, I was like a celebrity. And because I went to Alabama, I went to Florida too.
Okay.
And I went to Florida, and like I knew a lot of people in Florida. So when I went there, it was like, oh my God, look at TK, she's bad. It was fun, that part. Oh my God, I felt like I was like famous, bro. I never felt like that. Like, y'all love me that much?
They missed you.
And it was a lot of guys too. Like,
oh, of course.
like the ball, like the plugs and shit. Like the ballers, like a lot of them. Like, okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it was fun. And then since I've been home, I went to Jeezy's concert.
Okay. That's fire.
What else have I been? I've been somewhere else too. I've gotten it. But yeah, that's it. But I'm trying to take a trip out, like to Bahamas or something.
Oh, okay. Is that a situation where are you still on parole, or I guess talk about that? Did you get an early termination, or?
I was only on parole for like 6-7 months.
Okay. And was that because that's how much time you had left, or did you get it terminated early?
No, that's how much time I had left anyways.
Okay. How did they even bother you knowing you were like kind of so short?
Absolutely.
Or they did still?
Yeah, because like I say, man started, and so they's watching me. They
I bet. How long until you started working, right? I know you're doing all the school. Did you get to work right away? And like, what was that like? Did you start to feel productive, member of society?
Well, the program that I went to, the McGrath House, after like your 72 hours, you have to like do something. You can't just sit there, which is a good thing. Alana like scrubbed.
More parents should be like that, to be honest. But.
Yeah, Alana don't play. Like, you there for a reason, to reentry, to get yourself back out in society. Yeah. And Alana didn't play. Like, I went to school and worked at UPS. So I was struggling. I was doing like both. Like, I was leaving from like, I would be at work at 3 in the morning, and I would leave back out and go to work at like, be out there like at 8. So I was doing school and then work, school and work.
So what's been your favorite moment since being out? Was it getting the parole terminated or finishing it rather, or was it the Jeezy concert?
You know what? My most favorite was when I got my high school diploma. I knew after I got my high school diploma, I could do anything I wanted to do.
Wow.
Anything I wanted to do. I mean, when I say, God always say, if I get my high school diploma, God, I'm going to kiss the ground. I promise you, I kissed the ground that day.
Wow.
I swear I did. I didn't care. Because I wanted it for so long. I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so freaking bad, bro. I just want that paper.
Yeah.
I just want to know I'm smart, like everybody else, you know? I'm smart. I can do this. I know I can do it. I never got A's and B's in school until I got pregnant, you know what I mean? I know I can do this shit.
Yeah.
And I did it.
That's great. I'm glad. I'm glad. So what's the main message you would want somebody to get from hearing your story, right? What's the main message you want to convey to, the people watching?
My story I want to tell everybody is that be careful. Everybody ain't your friend. Friends, family, just be careful. And if you know it's not the right thing to do, just don't do it. Don't trade places with me.
Yeah.
You know? And I tell that to my closest friends. I tell it to anybody's close to me. Don't trade places with me, because at the end of the day, none of this shit is worth it. It's not worth it.
Absolutely.
If you feel like that you back into the corner, somebody's bothering you, you don't know what to do, get them that. You got that. Because you know what you're capable of doing. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody's not worth you proving nothing to. That wasn't my problem, trying to prove a point. For what? Somebody lost their life.
To people who wouldn't
people
write
that-
you when you get locked up, or to who, right?
The people that wouldn't even had my back at all.
Yeah.
I learned the hard way.
Yep.
So with that being said, just don't trade places with me.
Absolutely.
You know?
I always say now the only person, that I try to seek validation from, is God, right? Because
God.
He sees everything anyway, even the stuff that
Everything.
the internet don't see, all that stuff. He sees everything. And before we get to that, just one more question.
No,
and
no,
I want
just
to
getting it
end it
together.
on that too. So I want it's all good. I want to say, why was it important for you to come up here and share this and tell your story? Why was that so important for you?
Wow, I was waiting for that question. I'm really out of my comfort zone right now. Like, I've never did this in my entire life. This
You're
is
doing
my
great.
first doing something like this. So guys, if I'm not doing a good job, it's my first time. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But I wanted to tell my story. I had to tell my story because now I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I don't have to hold nothing back. I don't have to hide anything. Now I can move on with my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm free now.
Wow. So you had a letter you wanted to read, and I think it's the perfect way to put a bow on this.
Yeah.
Before we go.
So I have
read
a
that
letter I want to read to my friend, my best friend in the whole wide world. And it goes like this. Hold on, give me a second, you guys. So this is my letter to my friend. Thank you, Heavenly Father, Jesus, for everything. And I love you guys so much. I came a long ways in my life, and I didn't think I would make it this far. You already know how many times I tried to commit suicide and almost succeeded. But for some reason, you just wouldn't let it happen. Excuse me.
Take your time.
I don't have a gun pointing in my face. I saw the light. I flipped my car over and over. You helped me. I was homeless a few times to have nothing to eat. You gave me a home to live. I was struggling through financial situations. You gave me plenty of jobs. And you also took away some important people in my life that love me unconditionally. Now I feel like Job. And I'm still faithful and I'm still standing because you are my best friend. But because I was obedient and wanted to do things my way, you gave me 2 out of 13 years in prison. I did 10. Good time. Programs. Jobs. Scratcher. Now you got my attention. I got no friends. I'm alone now. Because you told me to get rid of them to open up new doors for me. And I did just that. Because you are my best friend. And I love you. And now I'm ready for what's next in my life. So let's go.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen. That was beautiful. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for you in the book and everything like that. And I guess, I know that was like a great way to end it, but if there was anything else that you wanted to touch on, maybe I didn't bring it up or get a chance to talk about it, you could do that, or just, I guess, some last words for the audience out there.
My last words is for everybody is to keep your head up, stay strong. You're not alone out here. I thought I was alone for a long time, but you're not. You always have a friend of Jesus. Keep your head up and just pray. I'm telling you, it might look dark right now, but it's a light. It's a light at the end of that tunnel. Trust me, from somebody that's been through the darkness all her life. You see these lights? Now I'm in the light, and I'm free. I'm free. Thank you for listening to my story.
Wow.
Thank you, Bobby.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. This was such an incredible interview, guys. And that's TK right there. I'm B. Luke. This is the Bounce Back Podcast. Remember, it is what it is. What's next is what you make it. On that note, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Bounce back. You got a moment when they see you down.